Good evening, all. I think today is on second online seminar on strategies for better relationship and mental health. Along with us, Dr. S. Kadiravan sir is here. He is going to take the session for another 15 minutes. I would like to give few guidelines for you. Please mute your mobile phone. Okay. And you will be, suppose you would like to ask any questions, there is a more button will be there in your mobile phone. In the down right corner, just click the more button. You can raise your hand. The hand symbol will be there in that pointer. Just click that hand signal. We will notice. We will make you unmute your call. Then you can ask the questions to the resource person. Now I invite Dr. Kadiravan sir to handle the session. Sir, I welcome you for the second session on mental health. I welcome you, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Hi, good evening, guys. This is Kadiravan. Some of you might be knowing about me. Nice to meet you people with the help of Suresh Kumar in this session on strategies for better relationship and mental health. Today, the entire world is witnessing the impact of COVID-19, novel COVID-19, and most of us are under the curfew, and in some of the area we have the red zone, and many people may not be able to come out of their houses also. In this circumstance, there is a lot of question about our relationship, and in turn it affects our mental health. Before we talk about the relationship, first we should think of 5 R's of our life, which I feel that those are the fundamentals for our relationship. The first R is the role clarity. See, today most of us are inside the home. We are unable to move out, and we have different issues like we are unable to sit with the family members. We are unable to tolerate our own children, or we are unable to tolerate our own parent. Like that, we have a lot of issues. So first we should have the role clarity. Most of these principles, whatever I am talking or what I am going to discuss, are well known to all of us, but at the same time, the major issue is how we are effectively utilizing during these kind of shutdown periods. That determines the effectiveness of a relationship, as well as how we are protecting our mental health, or at least how we are safeguarding our mental health. So the role of clarity, we must have the clarity about our own role. For example, you might be in any good position, or you might be a businessman, or you might be a psychologist or counselor, whatsoever it may be. Inside the home, you are also one of the inmates in the home. That clarity we must have. Here, authority will not work. Especially home is the place where we should ensure the happiness. So think and decide that whether you are playing the autocratic role. If you are playing the autocratic role, thereby either you became the party who are witnessing the mental health issues, or you are torturing all the others in the family. So we must have the role clarity. The second R is standing for right. We are known for fighting for our fundamental right, but the most important thing is we should think in the line what's right for the other people. Majority of the time, we never think of what is right for the other people. There we are emphasizing about not only the empathy, the righteous consciousness also. So the right for other people. The reality, the third R is the reality. The reality, the ultimate reality is we are house arrested most of the time. So we have to accept the reality. We have to accept the reality. There is a famous saying by Sadhguru. He used to say that you shouldn't be tense for the things which are not in your control. So if you think of this reality, 100% it's not in your control. The entire world is suffering. Even the so-called medically developed nations, they are also suffering. So we must understand what's the reality. The reality is constantly changing. Then the fourth R stands for responsibility. Responsibility as a member of the family, how you should take the responsibility within the family. For example, even you can share the responsibility in the household work. And in most of the families, you may not have the housemates nowadays. Or many people, they may not turn to your home. So your wife or husband, whoever is responsible for many of the activities, they might be working for all the costs. Thereby, they get tensed, or they are irritated, or they will be in a position to sue you for anything. So we must think of the responsibility, taking the responsibility. So wherever it's possible, whenever it's possible, we can take the responsibility, and we can help the other members, other inmates in the home. That is the best way to take the responsibility during this curfew period. That respect, there is no point of respect in the inside the home. Respect should be mutual, and moreover, inside the family, respect should be like the, it should be, it is like the rose, okay, which gives the smell, which is possible only through love, affection, care, and attention. See, most of us, even in this stage, we are longing for care and attention. So here you will get the respect only when you take care of each and every members, fellow members. So whenever you think of the interpersonal relationship, there are different aspects in interpersonal relationship. The first one is initiating the relationship. The first one is initiating the relationship. So how you are initiating the relationship? For example, when your husband or wife or children, when they are doing their work, and you should not keep on torture them. You should complete my work first. I should do this first. I should be going for this first, etc. Should be avoided. See, you might think why I am insisting avoiding things or what not to be done, because this is a different period where maintaining the interpersonal relationship requires especially avoiding so many unwanted things. Okay, so initiating a relationship is possible, or initiating the relationship should be done by avoiding so many nonsense, the day-to-day nonsense. The second one is self-disclosure. And do remember, most of your family members are completely aware of yourself. So it's not the place to show your superiority or inferiority and establish the relationship. So optimal level of disclosure. What is optimum? It's purely individualistic. So optimal level of disclosure within the family is very, very essential. But in my opinion, the open disclosure. See, this is what it's possible now. For example, you have to go to the shop. Only up to the 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock you can go to the shop. But inside the home, you might in need of something emergency. At that time, we must disclose the information properly. Likewise, we can quote so many examples, but optimum level of disclosure is necessary in providing the emotional support. If at all you feel anyone inside the family, they're going down or downgrading themselves or getting upset or getting irritated, try to provide the emotional support. That's very, very important. Remember, human beings are the embodiment of emotion. Then asserting the displeasure with others' action. Obviously, during this curfew period, you can find that you are irritated for everything. You're irritated for everything because we cannot go, we cannot talk to the other people, we cannot meet the other individual. So obviously, we are under the condition that even if the children are doing something, our parents are doing something, we used to get the displeasure. So how to handle the displeasure? That's very, very important. And do remember, you're going to be with the same family even after this curfew. Then managing the interpersonal conflicts. Already, if you're capable of handling your family relationship well, managing the interpersonal conflict is very, very easy. But some people are workaholics, or some people are business oriented. For them, this becomes the Herculean task. So we should think of all these things to maintain the interpersonal relationship during this curfew period. Yes. Then what are the characteristics of interpersonal relationship? We maintain the interpersonal relationship for several reasons, or these are said to be the characteristics. The first one is formality. First one is formality. Just for formality, many people used to maintain the interpersonal relation. That shows the relationship within your family members. The second one is accessibility. See, during this curfew period, you have a lot of accessibility within your home. Within the 900 square feet or 1000 square feet, many of the people are living, and 5-6 people are living within the 900 square feet. So you have a lot of accessibility, and you can have the reciprocity. So accessibility automatically will help us for reciprocity. So it should, any interaction, any interpersonal relationship should be reciprocal. So you try to help the others, and try to, if at all you are in need of something, try to get the help from others also. Then commitment. If at all you ask me, in any commitment, my point is it should be 100% commitment. It should be 100% commitment. The simple reason is, many of the times we never listen to our family members. The basic reason is we take our family members for granted. For example, if you're working in an office, or you're working in a company, or you're running a company, you're trying to please the other people to 100% because of the cost and benefit. But within the family, we take people for granted, but they are the ones who will be surviving with you till the end of your life. So the commitment should be 100% commitment. And in the interpersonal relationship, we must have the spontaneity. so that we can easily handle the relationship. Then how we are beginning the interpersonal relationship. These points may be good for the outer situation, but at the same time, these points should be considered even within the family, or you have to think of reworking on these points, beginning the relationship. See, normally it happens with the interpersonal attraction. Even you could have noticed that, according to Sigmund Freud, girl children are attracted to the fathers and boy children are attracted to the mother. That may be the common thing, but here you should try to redefine the interpersonal attraction by helping the opposite gender, the children of opposite gender. The impression formation. This impression formation is not always possible within the family, but during this curfew period, it's very difficult to form the impression. But my point is, you should break the impression wrongly, whichever is formed so far, during your lifetime. At least utilize this curfew period to make the clear impression. Thereby, people can have the positive impression about yourself within the family. The physical proximity. The physical proximity, you can use the touches or hugs or etc. in the general situation. But during the curfew period, the government is insisting us even we have to maintain the social distance within the residence. So in which case you can utilize this physical proximity in terms of verbal reinforcement. Whenever you are using the verbal reinforcement, when they are doing the proximity with the social distance, definitely it will be strengthened. That will give a good idea to your kids or good idea to your children to follow the social distancing even after this curfew. That's similarity. Definitely, in many cases, we are attracted through the similarity. So during this curfew period, identify your similar values or similar interests. Sometimes the father and the son, they may have the similar interests, but so far they wouldn't communicate with them with each other mutually because they don't find time. Or mother and daughter, they might have the similar interests, but normally they should behave like the cat and the rat in the family, mother and daughter. So this time, at least try to identify the similarity between your interests, values, attitudes, and so on. Then social reality is the curfew period. The social reality is we are under house arrest. So mutual liking. Remember, inside the family, we can't expect that every member will like every other member. Rather, we can utilize this curfew period as the trust building process. Thereby, we will have the liking with the other person. And of course, the physical attraction, it depends on our personal factors. Then strategies in interpersonal relationship. See, we use widely 5 different strategies in the interpersonal relationship. The first one is cooperation. Generally, even in the workplace, workers, those who extend their cooperation are well appreciated or we like them. So similarly, inside the family, try to provide the cooperation wherever it's possible so that the other family members will start mutually liking you. Number 2, competition. Competition is good, but within the family, we should arrange the competition in such a way that our children should get the success. Thereby, we can boost their self-confidence. Even when you, for example, you are playing the carom board or you are playing chess or some other activities within the family, though you are well trained, but give the success to your children so that they will their self-confidence and self-concept will be improved. Conflict. The most important thing, the strategy utilized to improve interpersonal relationship is the conflict. See, try to resolve the conflicts with a common goal. So identify the common goal. Even you can sit as a family, talk to the other members openly. Then identify the problems, identify the conflict with you. Then try to explain your point of view and get their point of view. Then arrive into the mutual consents. Thereby, we can solve so many conflicts within the family. And of course, if you are handling the conflict carefully and effectively within the family, then it will be the new foundation for your future relationship and future trust within the family. Then accommodation and assimilation. You know how we are using the accommodation and assimilation as the regular strategies. Then, what are the real tips for interpersonal relationship? Because right now the theories, techniques, etc. we can talk so much, but what are the practical tips? Number 1, you should assume personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. When I talk about the 5 R's, The first you mention is the responsibility. So assume the personal responsibility so that people will develop the trust on you and they will appreciate you and they will acknowledge your effort. Number two, show consideration for others. This is what we are insisting as care. Care. Attention and care, these are the two important factors which determine the nature of our interpersonal relationship. So show consideration for other people within the family. Then choose your word carefully. Don't forget conveniently that all the other people are also irritated due to this curfew. They're also unable to move, they're also unable to contact their friends, they're also unable to contact the business circle. So this is a similar condition for all the family members. So whenever you are trying to utilize the words, choose the words very, very carefully. And remember, when you are using the positive words, even the criticism can be given in the positive way. So if you are giving the positive consideration and using the words carefully, right, that will also helpful for developing the healthy interpersonal relationship. Thereby, you can build the trust within the family. And don't criticize others. With criticism, we are going to achieve nothing. We are going to achieve nothing. So, give the criticism even in the positive manner. Positive manner. Instead of telling them you are wrong, right? You should teach them how it should be done in the better way. So don't insist that you are wrong, you're not doing it in the proper way, you are wrong. Just avoid all these things. Rather, tell them that how it should be done in the better manner. Or next time, how you can do it in a better manner. Then be kind with others. See, remember, the silence and smile will win the hearts in any relationship. So be kind with others. Then give positive interpretation to others' behavior. So even if their intention is wrong, if you keep on giving the positive interpretation for their behavior, they will start refining their attitude, reframing their attitude, and refining their behavior. Be a good listener. See, many times we never listen to other people carefully. That's the basic problem in any interpersonal relationship. So you should be a good listener. By listening them properly, you can understand their own viewpoint. Even you can comprehend the things in a different manner. Then be enthusiastic. See, happiness is contagious. During this pandemic period, we should be enthusiastic. Thereby, we can make the other family members cheerful. Then give honest and sincere appreciation. So whenever you are praising the other family members, don't praise just for the sake of praising, like what we are doing in the business circle or in the social setting. So give the real appreciation, honest appreciation. It should be sincere. So give honest and sincere appreciation. Then admit your own mistakes. It's the 10th point. Admit your own mistakes. Many a times we never accept that we have committed mistake, right? And in social psychology, we used to emphasize that the most important 6-word message in the life is, I admit I made a mistake. I admit I made a mistake. So if at all you are using I admit I made a mistake, right? Definitely people will be listening to you and they will think that you are realistically handling them. Then the 11th one is discuss but don't argue. Many a times in the family relationship, we want to discuss, but many a time we have started shouting with each other, and it would end up with the negative things. And the people with the negative emotion and negative attitude, they will be moving. So try to avoid the arguments. Discuss, and you know very well that discussion is always better than argument, because in discussion, in argument, we are trying to prove who is right and who is wrong. But in the discussion, we are trying to discuss what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so never ever attached with the emotion with the discussion. Rather, you detach yourself and try to discuss the things rather than arguing about the things. And turn your promises into commitments. There is a famous saying, you know very well, that one of the most important quality of the good leader is, okay, once if you give the promise, you should execute your promise. But at the same time, one of the most important quality of the intelligent leader is you should not give such promises. So I think this could be the better thing during the curfew period. Okay, I'm not insisting that you should be following this always. That would be that would lead to ending up your relationship also. But during this curfew period, you could have experienced that your children are keep on torturing that after this you should do this, that, and etc. So be careful while you are giving the promises. And if at all you have the small kids and if you have promised something, execute the promises. Otherwise, they never trust you people. So turn your promises into commitments and have sincerity and integrity. Have sincerity and integrity. Sincerity, we can practice sincerity, but maintaining the integrity is very, very difficult, because in many cases people people have bad reputation just because they don't maintain their integrity. So even if anyone is not watching you, maintain the same character, that will get you the reputation within the family. Be understanding and caring. Be understanding and caring. See, understanding is the tedious process. Many of us are even incapable of understanding our own self. So be understanding and caring. That will be always get the good name as well as the fame for you, even within the family or outside the family. Accept the reality. Already we spoke about the third R, reality. Accept the reality and develop a sense of humor. Develop a sense of humor, because during this curfew period you may have financial losses, or you may have some of the lockdown of your industry, or some people even you may not able to get the day-to-day lives. So just because you are keeping your face like the tiger, okay, nothing will happen. Just because you are not smiling, nothing will happen. Even the flowers, they give the smell. As I have read it, everything is not locked down. Even sun is rising from the east. Likewise, I have read one beautiful poem. So remember, just because you are under the curfew period, there's no need to miss your smile. Okay, so smile, and you can develop a sense of humor, then show empathy on others, then develop a healthy attitude towards yourself and others. Then the most important thing is think critically and act creatively. And the highlight is you should be obedient with others. That's the best quality we require during this curfew period with the family members. And if at all you think of how to maintain the mental health with the interpersonal relationship, that's a very most important thing. The interpersonal relationship and mental health. Okay, see, appeal to your senses. Appeal to your senses. Then, for example, several days due to the hurry sickness, you didn't even tasted the food served by your wife with love and affection. Most of the time you didn't listen to your son or daughter carefully. Most of the time you didn't provide the rest for your eyes or ears. So appeal to your senses. And one more thing I want to point out here is, I don't recommend meditation in this place, because meditation is not the solution to the problem. People, those are the clarity and the inner peace, only they should meditate. When you do the meditation with the problem, probably the problem will be multiplied. Then practice self-discipline, because we are the role model for our family members. That too, if you are the earning member of the family, all the other family members, especially the kids or your wife or your other fellow members in the family, they will keep on watching you only. So your behavior is the model behavior. So practice self-discipline. Then limit unhealthy mental habits like worrying. You should limit your unhealthy mental habit like you are worrying. Then you should make time for contemplation and appreciation. Then you should make the leisure time your priority. You can enjoy the beauty of nature or art. You should learn or discover new things, even from the books, whatever you read or whatever you do. Then do things that positively impact others. Okay. See, today you know very well, most of us are good in criticizing others. Most of us are capable of making negative impact on others. But my suggestion is, do things that positively impacting the others and manage your stress levels. Because if you are incapable of managing your stress level, you can do nothing. Then engage in meaningful creative work. For example, if at all you have some official work which are pending, you can try to finish it. If at all you want to make some business plans, you can make the vigilant business plan. Likewise, you can engage yourself in meaningful creative work. Then engage in stimulating conversation. For example, you can take a good novel, or you can take a good movie, or you can take a good play, and you can have the healthy discussion within the family. Or you can use the role play. You can ask the other family members to play different roles. Thereby, you can communicate among yourselves. Sometimes it serves the purpose of the sensitivity sensitivity group training. Then read often, read widely. So don't limit yourself with one subject or one area. Read frequently and read widely. Take time to relax. So either you can engage yourself in the meaningful walking, or you can engage yourself in meaningful exercise, and so on. Then take up a new hobby. This is a beautiful time you can take up some new hobby. Yes, Suresh. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Suresh, any participants are ready to ask questions?
Yeah, dear participant, can you able to hear me? Yeah, sir, thank you, sir, for a wonderful presentation. Now it is time for you. We can raise your questions, or you can share your inputs on how the relationship impact on our mental health. You can share. Suppose if you have some other point, you can share here. Or would you like to know any specific questions? You can raise and then ask the question. I'm going to unmute your all the audio. We can ask the resource person now.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello.
We're having another 6 to 7 minutes for interactions. If you have any specific questions, or would you like to add on few more points for mental health or relationship? So, better relationship impact on our mental health. You can share your point here. Yes.
You can put up your hand so that they will pick up. It was a wonderful presentation on interpersonal communication and I really enjoyed it thoroughly. I have no questions. I just would like to record the presentation.
I think all the other people, they have opened the mic, so the question is not at all audible. Only I can hear the noise.
Yes, I will do one thing. I will unmute you, So there is a one question from Dr. Kannan, Madurai Kamaraj University.
இந்த சத்தத்திலே தாங்க அது.
Mr. Kannan? Yes. Dr. Kannan.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please, sir. Please proceed.
Sir, thank you for your wonderful presentation.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, proceed.
Hello.
Sir. He will answer. Please,
Hello.
your questions. Yes, sir is there. Please ask your questions. Mr. Kannan. Dr. Kannan.
Hello friends, if you're unable to contact right now, there is no problem. I think Suresh Kumar will be sharing the PowerPoint also, where you can find my number, you can contact me. There is no issue. I'll answer you. Don't worry. He will be sharing the PowerPoint with you people.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, it's a good one. During this interview, I PR about it. I think regarding the anxiety and stress, what will be your suggestion for overcoming?
So, anxiety, you could have seen in one place of the PowerPoint, I would have placed it. Accept what you cannot change. Change what you cannot accept. You cannot change the curfew, right? So this is the situation we have to accept it. That's what I mentioned about the Sadhguru also. You shouldn't be tense for the things which are not in your control. But still, if you have some of the anxiety, it's very simple. You can engage yourself with some physical activity. Because through this Zoom app, I cannot teach you the exercises. But some of the participants, they have already attended some of my programs. I taught about 30 or 25 different exercises to relax yourself from stress and anxiety.
Okay.
So you can
No,
attend
it's
it.
not, no, it's not about us. It's about the family members. No, so you said
For
create.
for the family members, it's very simple. You once if you are clear, right? It's very easy to explain them. And tell them that the most important thing, actually for the past 6-7 days, I'm doing counseling over the phone for many of the COVID-19 issues.
Okay.
Right, our university is extending that service, and many people raise the question. I used to repeatedly tell them only one point. Even this will pass away because we have a very good gene, we have a very good heredity, right? So this issue will be passing, but if it is a severe financial crisis, we are helpless. So you should find your own ways to come out of the financial crisis, because I have received many questions with anxiety and stress because of the financial crisis. I think that might not be a problem, Professor.
Yeah. It's not. It's
So
not
you can
like
handle
that.
them very well.
It's not about it. The anxiety comes in various through for the family members because each one.
Yeah, that is very. It is it's very common. That's why I said you can engage all of them in the activity. You can play with them. You can arrange some of the play activities, indoor activities. You can play with them. Even if you have a small ball, you can spend your time by playing with your kids. You can playing with your wife. You can playing with your parents.
Yeah.
That you can do. It seems to be laughing, but if you are doing so, you will be going back to your own childhood days, and your childhood memories will always be helpful to overcome this kind of stress.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Dr. Veena is there? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Veena.
Sir, good evening, sir. That was awesome presentation.
Okay, Veena.
Sir, I have a query. Like,
Please.
right now, we are getting adapted to the lockdown situation.
Okay.
What happens once the lockdown is lifted and everyone is going back to their routine? So, what are
Yeah.
the complications we as psychologists have to look in for?
The first one is many people, they don't like to work because you are accommodated with this lockdown situation very well.
Yes.
Especially if you are in the paid job. If you are in the paid job, right? Whether you are going for a job or not, you have been paid conveniently.
Definitely.
Okay. For instance, from today onwards, in our university, in the control office examination, we have started working. Right. Many people, they find it they are reluctant and they are unable to sit and do the work.
Yes.
Right. So the first one is a reluctance from the individual to accept the reality and go back to the work. Number two, again, they will be coming with the various kind of complaints like unable to concentrate, unable to focus. Likewise, they will be coming with the complaints. So for them, you should give, as a counselor, you can give some of the relaxation exercises and help them to get refocused. Yes, then?
And also the family dynamics have been changed, isn't it? So
yes, obviously it will be changing. Normally in counseling, we used to say that